After all that build-up, I hope I didn't disappoint anybody. I mean, I can't shoot laser beams, light my skull on fire, or glow like the sun. Like Tony said, outside of the costume, I'm just boring old Peter Parker. I don't even have a cool screen name.
Beneath your jesting lies a formidable warrior, Peter Parker. That is what matters most.
Yeesh, I just took off my mask, Hunter. Maybe you should try doing the same. Speaking of, now that we took care of the giant radioactive spider elephant in the room, we might as well get to know one another. If there's anything else you're curious to know about me, ask away. I'm apparently an open book now. So what do you say, Hunter? Care to step inside this Spider-Verse?
I have encountered werewolves, half-vampires, dragon men, but I have never encountered a Spider-Man before. There must be quite a story about how you became this way.
It's actually not the most epic story. Sort of a field trip gone wrong scenario, if you get me.
I do not.
Well, a small irradiated spider bit me while I was working up the nerve to ask Mary Jane Watson if she'd like to check out the Pym particle exhibit at the Empire State Museum. Next thing I know, the high-energy photons injected into my bloodstream started altering my genomic sequence. At first, I thought I was having an allergic reaction, and then I started climbing up the walls. I told my Aunt May it was late-onset puberty. She, believed me for some reason. So, how about you? Get bit by a radioactive hunter or something?
My mother is the harbinger of a dark god. A normal life was never in the cards for me.
Yeesh. I thought high school was hard to deal with. That's gotta be a heavy load to carry.
It is not always easy. You do not seem like a typical Avenger.
Avenger? Me? Oh, no. Between my double major at Empire State, taking photos for the Bugle, and, you know, the whole protecting the neighborhood thing, who has the time? Besides, they haven't asked me to join them, yet, of course. What about you? How's this whole Midnight Sun thing work? You like the captain or something?
Perhaps according to a prophecy, but in truth, it is only unified together that we will all prevail over Lilith and Chthon. Ego is simply the tool of our enemy.
You sure you're not already an Avenger? Definitely know a guy who'd love to hear that. Here's a hint. It rhymes with smapped in Hermerica.
And just how many years has there been a Spider-Verse?
Oh, you mean how long have I been doing this? A few years now. You should have seen the original suit. I'd still have it lying around the dorm somewhere. Makes a great blanket. How about you? How long have you been hunting?
I learned to stop counting the years long ago. I much prefer to count the number of Lilin fallen by my hand.
Yeesh. You must have some interesting birthday parties.
This Venom creature's obsession with you is strong enough to overcome my mother's call. Until now, I thought that impossible.
It's, complicated. Eddie, the guy underneath the giant oozing mouth, was a reporter with me at the Bugle a while back. I may have ruined his career by exposing a phony source of his on this big murder case. This, of course, led him to the alien symbiote that had secretly bonded with me after my original suit was trashed on Battleworld. We can talk about that little adventure later. Long story short, I thought I had eradicated the suit with a giant church bell. Before I knew it was alive, of course. Anywho, the alien symbiote decided to merge with Eddie, and the two have been hunting me down ever since. It's your basic, simple misunderstanding, right? Well, I guess every superhero needs a super nemesis. Venom is mine. Must be tough having your own mom be yours, huh?
Lilith made her choice long ago, though it pains me to say this. She is no longer my mother, but another monster to slay.
That's a hard way to look at it. When I see Venom, all I can see is Eddie. And the symbiote that saved my life on a few occasions.
Perhaps that is what Lilith is counting on.
Look, I get it. The monster that looks like your friend is still a monster. I watch plenty of zombie movies, okay? Still doesn't mean you have to become that which you were hunting, if you ask me. I knew that philosophy minor was gonna pay off.
Thank you, Peter. I should be going. This was eye-opening.
For both of us? Gotta thank you too, Hunter. I was sort of holding back before. You know, didn't want to be a chatty Charlie. But now the floodgates are open. Let the real Peter Parker flow through. Anyway, you gotta go. I'll talk to you soon.
Of that, I have no doubt. Farewell, Peter.
Good chatting with you, Hunter.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I do not have a screen name at all.
Actually, you do. You're crushing it on Superlink, Hunter.
Oh, that. A gift from Tony. I would not want him to think me ungrateful. But, feel free to like any of my messages you find amusing. It would please, Tony, I'm sure.
Speaking of, now that we took care of the giant radioactive spider elephant in the room...
Years of discipline and training under Caretaker's guidance forged me into the warrior I am today.
Caretaker is like your aunt, right?
Yes, sister to Lilith. She raised me when my mother fell.
Aunt May became my guardian after my parents, passed. I guess we have that in common.
I suppose we do. You do not... The Hunter has always led the ScereBro in the battle against Lilith. So it was before, so it shall be now.
Wow, that is some focus. Me? I get too restless if nothing changes. I get irritated with MJ when she insists on ordering the same pizza toppings all the time.
This Venom creature's obsession with you is strong enough to overcome my mother's call. Until now, I thought that impossible.
It's, complicated. Eddie, the guy underneath the giant oozing mouth, was a reporter with me at the Bugle a while back. I may have ruined his career. This long story. And it's your basic, simple misunderstanding. Well, I guess it...
Caretaker and Agatha protected me, trained me, cared for me. All I know of Lilith is pain.
Hard same, but a different kind of pain, I guess. Couldn't ask for anyone better than Aunt May and Uncle Ben, but sometimes I just wish I could have gotten to know my birth parents, even just for a second.
And just how many years has there been a Spider-Verse?
Oh, you mean how long have I been doing this?
At this point, I suppose I am well over 3 centuries old. That is, if you count the years spent above and below ground, of course.
Of course. I mean, whatever gets you senior discount sooner, am I right?
You are a fascinating man.
Ooh, I like that. Friendly neighborhood, fascinating man. Wonder if Stark owns that trademark yet.
Thank you, Peter. I should be going.
After all that buildup, I hope I didn't disappoint anybody. I mean, I can't shoot laser beams, light my skull on fire, or glow like the sun. Like Tony said, outside of the costume, I'm just boring old Peter Parker. I don't even have a cool screen name.
I have seen you in battle with Venom, Peter. Believe me when I say you are anything but boring.
Aw, thanks. Jeez, Hunter, you trying to make me blush?
I did not realize you embarrassed so easily.
Oh yeah, I actually surprise myself at the things that embarrass me. Speaking of, now that we took care of the giant radioactive spider elephant in the room, we might as well get to know one another. If there's anything else you're curious to know about me, ask away. I'm apparently an open book now. So what do you say, Hunter? Care to step inside this Spider-Verse?
I am the result of a union that should not have been possible. Locked in an eternal struggle that not even death dare end. Whatever hand designed my destiny is far beyond my understanding.
I've been in life and death battles with Doc Connors and Octavius. At one point, I considered each of them friends, mentors. Might not be as crazy as what you've been through, but sometimes it makes you wonder why.
You do not seem like a typical Avenger.
Avenger? Me? Oh, no. Between my double major at Empire State, taking photos for the Bugle, and, you know, the whole protecting the neighborhood thing, who has the time? Besides, they haven't asked me to join them. Yet, of course.